Hello. Back in August 2021, Inovio announced that they would commence COVID-19 vaccine prime booster trials in China, of which there were 2. These were sponsored by Advaccine. The trial will evaluate prime boosting with Inovio's INO-4800 and Sinovac's Coronavac. Now, back then, you may have been scratching your head, how on earth has this triple alliance been formed? And why on earth would Sinovac want to partner with INO-4800? We may have had the clue released last month, and what it means for me is that INO-4800 is a clear winner that is going to be unleashed as booster shots within China. Stay tuned for this drill and more. Keep it simple. Okay, let's dive straight in. So back in December, news comes out that 3 doses of Sinovac still fails to protect against the new Omicron variant in a study. Sinovac is one of the most widely used globally, and vaccination plus a booster still yielded few neutralizing antibodies. Now what does that mean? To me, that means that Sinovac must have already known that their vaccine would not be as strong against the variants as the original COVID strain. So that is why they suddenly partnered with Inovio. I mean, it says here that the research suggested people who've received the Sinovac shot should seek out a different vaccine for their booster, such as BioNTech, the mRNA. Now that just makes no sense at all. What does make sense though, and it's all coming together, is why Sinovac at the end of 2021 partnered with Advaccine and in part with Inovio. This is big because, as the article goes on to say, the government of China has given out about 2.6 billion homegrown shots, many of them being the Sinovac Coronavac, but it will likely have to develop and roll out new vaccines before it can shift away from its isolationist stance. That means INO-4800 could still play a huge part in China moving forwards. Okay, so you may be wondering, didn't Inovio sign away all the rights to Advaccine? Well, they did. Well, kind of. In the collaboration and license agreement, we can see exactly what the arrangements are. In the manufacture and supply section of the agreement, we can see that the vaccine supply itself, during the term of this contract, Inovio will supply Advaccine's clinical requirements of the vaccine for clinical use in the Advaccine territory at Inovio's fully burdened manufacturing cost, and check this, plus an agreed profit margin to support the preclinical development and clinical studies in the field. Now, upon Advaccine's reasonable request, the parties agreed to negotiate in good faith the terms and conditions of a supply of the vaccine manufactured by or on behalf of Inovio under a separate agreement. Now what does that mean? That means that Inovio will be generating revenues, full stop, and these will yet to be determined as to the actual agreement themselves. Furthermore, in section 7.2 we can see the commercial supply, commercial Inovio device. Now is this the Selectra? Must be, right? So during the term, Inovio will supply Advaccine's commercial requirements of the applicable Inovio device for commercial use in the field. Boom! So that's more revenue right there. And it says right here, the Inovio device commercial supply agreement shall contain commercially reasonable terms as may be agreed upon in good faith by the parties. Now that is very bullish for me. I mean, once the vaccine has approval and is going to be commercialized, I think the terms will be up to Inovio to set. This right here is why I'm so bullish that once Advaccine gets phase 3 approval to commercialize within China, Inovio will explode. And why is that? Because the data generated by Advaccine shall be solely owned by Advaccine, but only in the development of the vaccine and products in the field in the Advaccine territory. And right here, Advaccine grants to Inovio royalty-free, fully paid up exclusive license with the right to grant sub-licenses to use such data generated and owned by Advaccine for the purpose of seeking and maintaining any regulatory approval for the vaccine or the product in the Inovio territory, which basically means the rest of the world. So, with the data gained from China, we can expect Inovio to use this to apply for more BLAs and EUAs in the rest of the world. That is big. And what kind of magnitude are we talking? We can see by just looking at Sinovac Biotech's first half results, which were released on December 31st. Sinovac Biotech first half non-GAAP EPS was at $44.78. Its revenues of $11 billion. The gross margin was 94.2% compared to 85.9% in the year previously. But the biggest, the absolute blockbuster showdown metric is this. The non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA came in at a whopping, mind-bending $10.2 billion in the first half of 2021 alone, and that was compared to a loss of $5.1 million year over year. Holy smoke, if we get anywhere near these kind of numbers for Inovio, oh me oh my. To summarize, I reckon that Sinovac knew straight away that they needed to partner with the next level of DNA vaccine production, and that comes in the form of Inovio's INO-4800, who had already strategically partnered with Advaccine. It was kind of a marriage in one. Now, the coming few months could be so critical, and if Advaccine does have some data to release, it could ignite Inovio's stock big, and at current prices where it's tanking along with the wider market of under $4, it's an absolute joke. Thanks for watching, and please note, at sub $4, Inovio is just a guaranteed money machine right now, so please take this full drill with precaution and always do your own DD. If you found this video informative, then do me a simple favor and consider just consider subscribing to this channel so you get a pop-up when a new video is uploaded. I am just a simple trader, and I try to keep this one simple, and will simply see you in the next video.